Okay, it's rant week, so I was gonna rant about something that I really love that I've mentioned so many times before. I'm gonna rant to you about patent pending and why I love them so much. And my original plan for this video was to be really elaborate and awesome and plan out everything I say and have different cuts with all those shirts on. So I wear all the shirts that I have by them throughout the video, but I don't have time for that anymore, so I'm just gonna grab all the shirts and show them to you one by one later on in the video. So, here we go. July of 2006, I think, yes, I came across their music video for This Can't Happen Again, and ever since I saw that video, I have been addicted to their music. A few weeks after seeing the video, I went out and bought their CD, Save Each Other, The Whales Are Doing Fine, and I was in love with it. About a year later, in August of 2007, I had my mom drive me and my friend out to Hartford, Connecticut, about 2.5 hours away, to see them live for the first time. And ever since then, they were the best band in the world. I saw them a second time at the same venue in Hartford, December of the same year, and that show was really strange because 5 days prior to that show, I had just gotten out of the hospital from having appendicitis. So I was fresh out of surgery when I was in the pits of that show. It was still fun. And the funny thing is, the first 4 times I saw them, the third time I saw them was in Long Island for their CD release show, and the other 3 times of the first 4 were Connecticut shows, so they always thought I was a Connecticut fan. So, the 5th and 6th show, they played down in Warwick, New York, which is about the same distance, but still in the same state. So when I got there, Joe, the lead singer, saw me and he's like, "What are you guys doing here? You guys are the Connecticut kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're from New York, so Connecticut wasn't that far anyway." We've been friends pretty much since then. He saw me at the first show, he recognized me at the second show from the first show, and then after that, we've just been saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And we've sort of become friends, and it's awesome. Save Each Other, The Whales Are Doing Fine, right here. I have this. Here's the CD, and in the back, there is a DVD, and it's one of the funniest DVDs I've ever seen. So I've got that. The CD release show that they had in Long Island in 2000, I think it was 2009. I didn't see them at all in 2008, actually. Weird. Anyway. Attack of the Awesome, I have it signed by Joe and Michael Regasta. They are cousins, and after that show, actually, Michael left the band to start a different band, to join a different band, and so Joe went from being the guitarist to the lead singer, and the whole lineup changed, and now they've had a lot of lineup changes, and the only original members from when they first formed are Anthony and Joe, who were the drummer and guitarist, and now they're the drummer and lead singer. The longtime fans dearly miss Michael because he was awesome, and they're still awesome. They're still just as awesome, but Michael was amazing. He did amazing things at the shows. He would take one foot and put it into the crowd, and everyone would latch onto his foot, and then he would lift the other one over and literally walk across the crowd just by people latching onto his foot. There were the two Warwick shows, and then I went to see them again in... No. The Connecticut show was 2009, and then early 2010 was the Warwick shows. And then after those, they played in Poughkeepsie, which is the closest that I've ever seen them play to me. It's a 45-minute drive to Poughkeepsie, and there's a really well-known music venue there that a lot of great bands play at. And they played there with Straight Light Manifesto, and that's the closest I've ever seen them, is 45 minutes away. The rest of them are like 2-hour drives. And in 2010, I actually saw them play 7 times. 7 out of the 14 times I've seen them were in 2010. October 2010, I went to Nyack twice to see Patent Pending. No. I went to Nyack twice to see Patent Pending, but one of the shows got canceled and we didn't find out about it. So we drove to Nyack which is an hour and a half. It wasn't terribly far. We drove the hour and a half to Nyack to the venue, and it was canceled. The show got canceled, and me and my friend were really upset. Also in October, the Ataris came to Kingston to play. And, surprise, surprise, the guitarist of Patent Pending is also the guitarist in the Ataris. So, the Ataris are like a pretty well-known band. They had that, they did that cover of Boys of Summer. I'd expect a couple of you guys to know it. So, yeah, the Ataris. The guitarist of Patent Pending is also the guitarist in the Ataris. Isn't that weird? I thought that was weird. December of 2010 was amazing. I got to see them live 3 times in one weekend, and I got to see them twice in one day. That was amazing. They played, on a Friday they played in Poughkeepsie again, and I think it was either the next night or the night after that we drove down to Nyack again to see them, and we saw them in Nyack, and then they had 2 shows scheduled that day, so we were like, hey, let's follow them from one to the other. So we drove from Nyack into the Bronx, and we made it to the second venue and saw them twice in one day, and it was so much fun. Then January, we found out that they were playing in New Jersey twice in a row. It was, they played on a Friday in Butler, New Jersey, and then they played on Saturday in Lodi, New Jersey. So my friend and I planned it, so we'd rent a hotel room and spend the weekend in Jersey. So we drove down to Jersey, saw them in Butler, went to our hotel, woke up the next day, went to Lodi, saw Patent Pending again. And it was at that second show, well, the first show I had mentioned to Joe that I could solve a Rubik's Cube. I had thrown that out there, and I told him that I brought one with me so I could show him. Because on I'm Not Alone, the song I'm Not Alone mentions the fact that, mentions the line, throw away your Rubik's Cube, you're never going to figure it out. So I mentioned to him that, hey, I can actually solve a Rubik's Cube. That line doesn't apply to me. So he was like, you know what, prove it. So at the next show in Lodi, I gave him my Rubik's Cube so he could scramble it for me so I could show him. And he refused to give it back to me. And I couldn't figure out why. And then it was like, oh shit, he's gonna drag me on stage to solve this Rubik's Cube during one of their songs. And sure enough, he dragged me on stage in the middle of one of their songs to solve the Rubik's Cube. I will leave a link to that video down below so you can watch it because it's awesome. And then upon completion of it, Joe gave me this little belt thing, and I've kept it forever. Then, back in May, they went on tour with Bowling for Soup. I had to work every single night that they were near here, which sucked. The one day that I had off that week was when they were 4 hours away in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I would have went to it if I could have found a friend to go with me, but no one would go with me, and I couldn't go see them live with Bowling for Soup, and I was really upset. And that brings us to now. On Sunday, I went to Danbury, Connecticut, which is an hour and a half away. It's much closer than the other places I went to Connecticut. So, at that show, I was like, hey, you guys had recorded a music video for One Less Heart to Break, which came out in March of this year. So I'm going to leave a link to that as well. But they had also shot another music video for their song Dance Till We Die. So I asked him, hey, when is that video coming out? And he's like, it's coming out this week. And good thing I did not make this video until today, because the video came out today. And I will leave a link to that as well. I'm going to have a lot of links in the description. I'm going to have a link to my Rubik's Cube solve. I'm going to have a link to the Dance Till We Die video, the One Less Heart to Break video, the This Can't Happen Again video. I should also link to She's a Ho 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 Merry Christmas, because that's an awesome video. So, they made 2 videos this year. They did this back in January, and one was finished and came out in March, and one just came out today. They got the money for those music videos from going on Silent Library, and I will leave a link to that as well, because just last week the episode went online, so I'll leave a link so you guys can watch it. So, on stage, Joe brought up the fact that during the last time I saw them, he dragged me on stage to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I solved it. And the girl standing right next to me goes, I can do that too. So, now, we sort of made plans to meet at Warped Tour in Hartford, Connecticut to solve a Rubik's Cube together and see who's faster. Now let me show you some of the merch I've gathered over the years. Here's a tote bag that I never use, but I own it just because Patent Pending is the one selling it. Juicebox is Joe's clothing company. It's called Juicebox Clothing, and pretty much Juicebox and Patent Pending to me are one and the same, so every time I go to a show I buy something. So here's a tote bag I've got. Here are 4 Juicebox wristbands that I have. I used to wear these all the time. You could probably, in my first few 20ups videos, you could probably see me wearing these. But ever since I got my job, I'm not allowed to wear these at work, so I haven't been wearing them. And then at the Sunday show I got this one, One Less Heart to Break. The Atari's picks that Rob uses. And I feel like I'm still missing things. I have so much stuff. This is the last thing. This Patent Pending cardboard cutout thingy that you find in CD stores. Funny story about this. I was in FYE and I found their CD, Save Each Other, The Whales Are Doing Fine. And I was like, hey, I already have that CD, I don't need it. And then I realized, hey, there's that cardboard thing behind it that says Patent Pending. And I wanted it, so I stole it. This is literally the only... No, that's not true. This is the second thing I've ever stolen in my life. Ever. The first thing I've ever stolen in my life was a little tiny piece of candy when I was about 5 because I really wanted a piece of candy. And it was just one of those little tiny... It was probably like that big. Small piece of candy. So, in mostly chronological order, this is the first Patent Pending shirt that I have ever owned. It was at the August 2007 show that I got this shirt. My December 2007 shirt is one of the ones that is missing. So, this is from July 2009 from their CD release show. I think it was September 2009 when I went to Connecticut and got this shirt. There's a little 8-bit bomb on the back of it. Patent Pending invented the internet. That's what it says. This is what I got at the first Warwick show. And this shirt I've mentioned before. If I die today, I'm going out with my friends. I got this one at the second Warwick show. And then they came to Poughkeepsie that year, and I got this shirt. And then this shirt I got when they released the CD I'm Not Alone in September of that year. And then the Nyack show that I went to, I got this one. They played in Poughkeepsie again. I don't have that shirt at the moment. And then when I went to go see them in Nyack in the Bronx, I got these 2 shirts. That's Dinosaur Juicebox, Raging the City, and there's the Superhero again. I have that shirt from before. And then I've got this one, which is a piratey logo. Don't know how well you can really see it. The shirt that I'm currently wearing here, and this one, Live Together or Die Alone, I got at the New Jersey shows in February, and the one that I got on Sunday is also upstairs in the washroom. And those are all 14 Patent Pending shirts, minus the 3 that are, not here at the moment. Okay, so that was pretty much my brief history of my obsession of Patent Pending and the fact that I want to be them and follow them wherever they go. You guys should all message me, send me a private message with your email addresses, and I will send you literally every single Patent Pending song that I own. All of it. There's like 42 or 43 songs that I have by them. And I will send them to you. Just send me your email address and you will get my entire Patent Pending collection of music for free. I told Lucy that I would do this for her a really long time ago, but I've never found the time. But now I promise to do the time. You guys just have to keep reminding me about it until I do it. So send me your email addresses. See James tomorrow. DFTBA.